The Red Sea, a vital waterway connecting Asia and Europe, has become a focal point of rising tensions between the United States and Iran. Recent months have witnessed a series of naval incidents, raising fears of a broader conflict. The U.S. Navy, tasked with safeguarding international waters, has found itself increasingly drawn into confrontations. Iranian vessels, often operating under the banner of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, have challenged U.S. warships. These encounters, while not escalating into direct conflict, underscore the potential for miscalculation in an already tense environment. China, with its growing economic interests in the region, has deployed naval assets to the Red Sea. Russia, seeking to reassert its influence in the Middle East, has also increased its naval presence. The Red Sea, once a conduit for trade and cultural exchange, now reflects the broader geopolitical tensions gripping the Middle East. At the heart of the Red Sea tensions lies the ongoing conflict in Yemen. The Houthis, a Zaidi Shia Muslim group, have been locked in a brutal civil war with the internationally recognized Yemeni government since 2014. Iran sees an opportunity in the Yemeni conflict to exert its influence and undermine its regional rivals, Saudi Arabia and the United States. Tehran has provided the Houthis with weapons, training, and financial support, transforming them into a potent fighting force. The Houthis, in turn, have used their newfound capabilities to target commercial shipping and launch attacks against Saudi Arabia. The Red Sea, with its proximity to Yemen and its importance as a shipping lane, has become a key battleground in the proxy war between Iran and its adversaries. Understanding the Houthis' motivations and internal divisions is crucial for finding a lasting solution to the conflict in Yemen and restoring stability to the Red Sea. The United States, alarmed by Iran's destabilizing activities in the Red Sea, has responded with a combination of military deployments and economic sanctions. The U.S. Navy has increased its presence in the region, conducting patrols and exercises to deter Iranian aggression and protect international shipping. U.S. warships have also directly intervened to prevent Iranian seizures of commercial vessels, engaging in tense standoffs with Iranian naval forces. Beyond military deployments, the U.S. has imposed stringent sanctions targeting Iran's economy and its ability to support proxy groups like the Houthis. These sanctions aim to cripple Iran's oil exports, its primary source of revenue, and limit its access to the international financial system. The U.S. strategy, however, faces significant challenges. Iran, while feeling the economic pain of sanctions, has shown a willingness to absorb the costs and continue its support for the Houthis. Finding a sustainable solution requires addressing the underlying drivers of instability, including the conflict in Yemen and the broader regional rivalry between Iran and its adversaries. The rising tensions in the Red Sea have sent ripples of concern throughout the international community. Governments and organizations worldwide have called for restraint and de-escalation, fearing that further incidents could ignite a broader conflict with devastating consequences. The United Nations has urged all parties to respect international law, ensure the safety of maritime navigation, and prioritize dialogue to resolve their differences peacefully. The European Union, while sharing U.S. concerns about Iran's destabilizing activities, has also expressed reservations about the U.S. approach. China and Russia, both with their own interests in the region, have echoed calls for dialogue and de-escalation. The situation in the Red Sea underscores the interconnected nature of global security and the importance of diplomacy in resolving international disputes. Global trade at risk. The Red Sea's importance. The Red Sea, a narrow but strategically vital waterway, plays a crucial role in global trade and energy security. It serves as a critical maritime route connecting Asia, Europe, and Africa, facilitating the flow of goods, energy, and people between these continents. The Suez Canal, located at the northern end of the Red Sea, further amplifies its importance, providing a shortcut for ships traveling between the Mediterranean Sea and the Indian Ocean. Each year, trillions of dollars worth of goods, including oil, natural gas, manufactured products, and agricultural commodities, transit the Red Sea. Disruptions to shipping in this vital waterway can have far-reaching consequences, impacting global supply chains, energy prices, and economic stability. Shipping companies, already grappling with the economic fallout from the COVID-19 pandemic and geopolitical uncertainties, now face increased risks and costs associated with operating in the region. The international community has a vested interest in ensuring the safety and stability of this vital maritime route. A human tragedy, the unseen cost of conflict. While the geopolitical implications of the Red Sea tensions dominate headlines, it's crucial to remember the human cost of the ongoing conflict in Yemen, which fuels much of the instability in the region. The war, now in its 8th year, has plunged Yemen into a humanitarian catastrophe of unimaginable proportions, leaving millions facing hunger, disease, and displacement. Civilians, including women and children, bear the brunt of the violence, caught in the crossfire between warring factions. Indiscriminate airstrikes, shelling, and ground fighting have destroyed homes, schools, hospitals, and critical infrastructure, leaving behind a trail of devastation. The war has crippled Yemen's economy, pushing millions into poverty and dependence on humanitarian aid. Food insecurity is rampant, with millions facing starvation. The healthcare system has collapsed, leaving Yemenis vulnerable to preventable diseases. Addressing the urgent needs of the Yemeni people requires an immediate ceasefire, unimpeded access for humanitarian aid, and a political solution to end the conflict. Can diplomacy prevail? The path to peace. Despite the heightened tensions and mistrust, the pursuit of a diplomatic solution to the Red Sea crisis remains paramount. The international community must seize every opportunity to encourage dialogue and build bridges between the warring parties. The United Nations, with its experience in conflict mediation, should play a leading role, facilitating talks and seeking common ground. A sustainable peace in Yemen requires a comprehensive approach that addresses the underlying political, economic, and social grievances fueling the conflict. The international community must also address Iran's destabilizing activities in the region, including its support for armed groups and its ballistic missile program. This requires a combination of diplomacy, sanctions, and deterrence. The path to peace in the Red Sea region is fraught with challenges, but it is a path that must be pursued with unwavering determination. Iran's nuclear ambitions, fueling regional instability. Iran's nuclear program significantly contributes to regional tensions. Tehran claims its ambitions are peaceful, but suspicions remain. Sanctions have crippled Iran's economy, fueling resentment. The 2015 Iran nuclear deal aimed to lift sanctions in exchange for limits on nuclear activities. The U.S. withdrawal in 2018 reignited tensions and higher uranium enrichment. Diplomacy and engagement are the most viable paths forward. Section 9. The Shadow of the JCPOA, a Deal Undone. The 2015 Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, commonly known as the Iran nuclear deal, stands as a significant, albeit now fragile, attempt at diplomatic resolution. This agreement, meticulously negotiated between Iran and the P5+1, aimed to curtail Iran's nuclear program in exchange for sanctions relief. The U.S. withdrawal from the JCPOA in 2018 under the Trump administration cast a long shadow over the agreement. The reimposition of sanctions by the U.S. dealt a severe blow to the Iranian economy, undermining public support for the deal within Iran. In response to the U.S. withdrawal and the perceived failure of European powers to provide adequate economic relief, Iran gradually stepped back from its JCPOA commitments. The challenge now lies in rebuilding trust, finding a way to address the concerns of all parties, and salvaging what remains of this crucial diplomatic achievement. Navigating a multipolar Middle East. The Red Sea crisis unfolds amid a shifting geopolitical landscape. The region is increasingly multipolar, with new power centers and shifting alliances. Russia is forging closer ties with Iran, Syria, and Turkey. China is expanding its footprint, investing in infrastructure and trade. UAE and Bahrain have normalized relations with Israel. Saudi Arabia is engaging with Russia and China while remaining a key U.S. ally. Navigating this environment requires a nuanced approach. Section 11, The Future of the Red Sea, a Test of Global Resolve. The Red Sea, once a symbol of maritime trade and cultural exchange, now stands as a test of global resolve. Addressing the immediate crisis requires de-escalation and a return to dialogue. The U.S. and Iran must exercise restraint, avoiding actions that could spark a wider conflict. The international community, particularly the UN Security Council, must play a more active role in mediating between the parties and facilitating a return to negotiations. The Red Sea's future hinges on the ability of the international community to overcome its divisions, prioritize diplomacy, and work collectively towards a shared vision of peace, stability, and prosperity. Failure to act decisively and effectively risks further escalation, with potentially devastating consequences for global security and economic well-being.